That's still our position. What actions we're taking with
nation. Ms. Fa Ntene was also caught in a different suit against the SDP, INEC, and the party's State House of Assembly. Ms. Fa Ntene is also asking the court to disqualify Mr. August as the State House of Assembly candidate and restore her ticket as the rightful candidate of the party. Now, when the matter came up in court, one of the defendant's lawyers informed the court of the difficulties experienced in effecting service and asked for a short adjournment date to enable him respond and serve the process, which was not opposed. Well, correspondent Soibi Oruwari reports that the presiding judge, Justice Emmanuel Obile, after listening to the lawyers in the matters, adjourned to January 2023 for proof of service and definite adoption of the process.
Right. She's saying she's been nominated twice, and the law forbids it. Section 35 of the Electoral Act says that anybody who is nominated twice allows himself to be nominated by more than one political party, that such a nomination is void. We're asking that the court should make the necessary pronouncement. The nomination of Senator Magnus Abe is an issue void.
But Mr. Williams Wobodo also spoke on the reasons his client is challenging her alleged unlawful substitution by SDP in the state.
She was elected a candidate of the party on the primaries of the political party that took place on the 24th of May. She was wrongfully substituted. The plan was not consulted, and she did not depose to an affidavit. They have brought an affidavit before the court. It's for the court to look at it. The name there, which they allegedly said was the person who consented, it's not her name. It's a different name entirely. She was never substituted. She's still the candidate of SDP in Andoni House of Assembly constituency.
The Action Democratic Party, ADP, says hundreds of members of other political parties in Ibaka Wards 6 and 7, Okrika local government area of Rivers State, have defected to the ADP to work for the victory of the party's governorship candidate, Victor Fingesi, in the 2023 general elections. The Director General of the ADP Campaign Council in Rivers State, Jim Augustine, addressed the defectors during a reception organized in their honor in Okrika. He commended them for their decision to bring back the lost glory of the state through the ballot boxes, when Mr. Augustine urged them to engage in ward-to-ward and unit-to-unit campaigns ahead of next year's election.
I will advise them to ignore deceit from some strong political parties who promise them heaven and earth. Recently, we heard they have been promised 20,000, 100,000, took their PVCs, their account numbers, and from what we discovered today in Ward 7 in Baka or Kreka, the members who are deflecting to our great party today are telling us plain that they've not received one dime from anybody. And that's an indication that those parties are coming with deceit to make sure they collect their vote illegally and get themselves to power.
Now, some of the leaders who spoke to newsmen said they were tired of the fake promises of their former political parties.
I am from PDP, going down from PDP to ADP because we are tired and sick of no job with our Excellency Victor Fingers. He can take us to the promised land.
Today, I am defecting from APC to ADP because we are tired. And when we get to the big house, in employment.
APC, PDP, they are the same people. At Fingesi, place, they have contest for 2 times. The same party. So this time, I've mobilized my people at Ward 6. Then come, we should give them PVC and 20k just to buy the vote. So we have tired of all this promise and fail.
Ward 7, Ebaka. This time around, we are intact. We know their politics. They've been coming around and we said no to all those things. But we want to stand beside our brother, the Okrikans. We are solidly behind him.
Moving on, the Rivers State Director of National Orientation Agency, NOA, Young Ayo Tamono, says Nigerians should not panic about allegations of sale and purchase of permanent voters' cards, PVCs, by politicians ahead of the elections. Mr. Ayo Tamono tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS technology, introduced by INEC, does not allow the PVCs to be swapped. He also said the BVAS machine does not allow preloading of PVCs.
INEC is very correct. What you're seeing as vote buying and vote selling is because people are still thinking the old way of conducting elections. People are being deceived into thinking that elections will be conducted in the same way that they have been conducted in the past, without knowing that things have changed. There are some game changers which are technologically driven, the BVAS, and then the fact that election results are going to be transmitted. So if people are going about buying PVCs and so on, At the end of the day, those PVCs might be useless.
Well, as you may know, there have been allegations of sales and purchase of PVCs by politicians in some parts of the country. Away from that, a lecturer with Captain Ilichi Amadi Polytechnic, Zoe Solomon Tamunotonye, has accused one Victor Okere and two others of assaulting him. Mr. Solomon Tamunotonye is in court with the management of the Polytechnic over alleged molestation and suspension of his salary for months. He said he was assaulted and his mobile phone seized when he visited the school to receive Christmas gifts after receiving a text message which turned out to be fake.
At this point, I'm asking the public, let the management run and allow the blood to cause. I have said it out now. If I'm not guilty, sorry for 11 months now.
Now, speaking on the implications of the incident, said such an act is criminal and is anti-right. But when contacted, Victor Okere denied the allegations.
What they have done to him is illegal, is criminal. They don't have any right. Even police, army does not have any right to ask you to bring your phone. He went to take with ash and collected his phone, broke his phone, they took his phone. Until we saw how much impunity. We are calling on the Commissioner of Police to go into this matter immediately because everything happened in broad daylight.
Still ahead, Governor Nyesom Wike promises 20 million naira to families of police officers killed on give 20 million naira to the family of the 3 police officers that were killed at the Rumokoro flyover last month. Governor Wike said this during this year's Emblem Appeal Fund launch at the banquet.
What each year should we earmark in our federal budget? This is the amount we used to take care of the families of the fallen heroes.
Governor Wike also said some security personnel are not committed to the discharge of their duties due to poor welfare.
And that is why in our security agencies, most of them, all they will hear launching of emblem to help their families. That's why sometimes I look back. Ordinarily, involvement in oil bunkers and economic sabotage. You were saying
our correspondent Emeka Utukar that weekend also launched the emblem with 3 million. Elder statesman Ferdinand Alabraba launched the emblem with 5 million naira, and King Danderson Douglas Jaja launched the emblem with 1 million naira on behalf of the River State's traditional rulers. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Loretta Onochie, a special assistant on social media to President Muhammadu Buhari, and 12 others as chairman and board members of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, where both the Senate and House of Representatives committees on Niger Delta had screened Onochie on Thursday alongside 13 others for the NDDC board roles. The news continues after this. Christmas, and transport fares from Port Harcourt to some major cities in Nigeria have increased by about 29%. Some interstate drivers in Port Harcourt say the hike in transport fares is due to the high cost of petrol. They told our correspondents that they are seeing a low number of travelers this period.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
Police in Paraguay are searching for 8 members of a criminal gang who broke out of prison through a hole in the ground this morning. The escapees belong to Brazil's largest criminal gang, First Command of the capital, which has been expanding to neighboring Paraguay. Well, it is not clear if the hole was dug by construction workers or the inmates themselves, where one fugitive has so far been captured. On the news this evening, you heard that the APC in Rivers State has withdrawn its suit challenging the executive orders 21 and 22. An aggrieved SDP member is seeking the disqualification of the party's governorship candidate, Senator Magnus Abe, over a double nomination. Governor Nyesom Wike has promised to give 20 million naira each to the families of the police officers that were killed on Rumokoro flyover last month. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Loretta Onochie and 12 others as NDDC chairman and board members. On the foreign scene, police in Paraguay are searching for 8 members of a criminal gang who broke out of prison through a hole in the ground this morning. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. My name is Constance Mega. Thank you for listening.
On your number one talk station,
you get a daily dose of news trends.
Prices of airted in a